What's going on, everybody? My name's Chris. Welcome to Bourbon Sane. With the recent news that came out about E.H. Taylor being inducted into Buffalo Trace's Hall of Fame of Bourbon, I figured it was time we revisited an E.H. Taylor product. Today we're going to be talking about the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. Now, this is a bottle from a few years ago, so it's had a lot of time to open up. I'm drank about, a third of the way down maybe. But this is a part of Buffalo Trace's low rye mash bill. So we're looking at about 75% corn, around 10% rye. They don't disclose, so we don't know. We just know it's low rye. And 15%-ish malted barley. So when you think about this mash bill, think about things like your Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare. And of course, there's varying ages for each of these. The single barrels are not disclosed, so we don't know. We do know it's a bottled and bond product, so we know it's at least 4 years. Most likely, it's going to be between 6 and 8. That's just kind of what people think online and in general, not disclosed, so we don't know. But 6 to 8 years most likely, and honestly, E.H. Taylors, they're extremely hard to find. I mean, we all know that at this point. But every time I've had one, whether it be the small batch, single barrel, rye, any of that, I'm not disappointed. Like, I'm really not. It's just the hype around it is crazy, and now being added to BTAC, obviously not this, but the higher end expression, probably much older. We're going to see what that does to distribution of these bottles. So either way, though, figured it was time to go back into it, and let's give it a re-review here. So let's go right into color on it. This is pretty light in my light here. It's got a very honey color. Nice viscosity on it, though. Looks pretty good in the glass. So yeah, looks good to me. Let's go into a nose on it. Yeah, these E.H. Taylors always give me a very fruity profile. I mean, very citrus forward. A lot of pear, a lot of apple, apricot. I always get that in these, in these E.H. Taylors. The single barrel is just amped up from the small batch as far as that fruitiness goes to me. I've probably only had 2 bottles of the single barrel before, so I haven't had very many expressions of single barrel, and obviously single barrels can vary. The oak is present on this, but with all that bright fruit, it comes through as more of a sweet oak, like a sweet candied cherry almost, maraschino cherry. But that's kind of the Buffalo Trace profile for me. A sweet oak, citrus forward, very sweet. Buffalo Trace is one of the sweetest profiles for me. Very pleasant nose. Very pleasant nose. Let's go into the taste. Cheers. Mm. 100 proof. Actually, for me, drinks a little bit lighter than that. I think it's probably just because of that very bright citrus profile, as mentioned. Nose and palate on this, extremely consistent from flavor to flavor, or from notes to notes. Same things. All that pear, all that apple. That Buffalo Trace, classic Buffalo Trace profile, Yeah, I mean, it just tastes like a mash bill 1. It tastes like a mash bill 1. I have had Buffalo Trace picks that are honestly pretty similar to this. The proof is a little bit lower in those picks. Those are usually 90 proof. But, man, if you can find a Buffalo Trace pick, you're getting pretty close to what these E.H. Taylor single barrel picks can be. Let's give it one more sip here. It's good, man. I hate to say it because of the scarcity and how hard to find these, but these are always really good. I always enjoy E.H. Taylor. Buffalo Trace always has a great starter bourbon profile. And when I say that, I mean it kind of gives you a great introduction to someone who's just starting into bourbon. It's not super heavy baking spice and clove and all those deep, rich sometimes flavors you get out of other brands, but it's such a sweetness that I think it converts a lot of people that haven't had whiskey before, or they're into like craft beer or whatever, and they want to convert to whiskey a little bit. It's such a easy profile to get hooked on. You know what I mean? To adapt to. So that's why they're so good. That's why Buffalo Trace is so big. Their marketing's so great, all of it, because it just works. Their flavor profile works. And Harlan Wheatley does know what he's doing. Like, he really does. For me, of course, because of the scarcity, I'm always going to try to pick these bottles up if I can. MSRP's gone up from what it used to be, but it's about $70. Of course, we know that's not how it is these days. You're looking at about 200 now for these on secondary. So impossible to find. I've seen these in retail one time, and it was way higher price than it should have been. So I didn't even get it. So yeah, if you can find one, it's definitely worth trying. Or if you're at a bar and they have a single barrel, it's worth sampling for sure, just to see the differences. But as mentioned, if you're looking for an alternative, Buffalo Trace single barrel picks, which they're getting harder to come by too. Buffalo Trace alone's getting hard to come by, but a lot of those picks are very similar, and I'm curious what you guys think about that. Have you had any Buffalo Trace picks that you think are similar to the E.H. Taylor single barrel? Buffalo Trace in general is about 6 to 8 years, they say too, so right around that same age. So if you think about that, theoretically, they're going to take from different warehouses, for the E.H. Taylor warehouse. But also, so flavor's going to be a little bit different, much more citrus forward, I think, in this one, as mentioned. But flavor's close. Like, it's still classic Buffalo Trace profile, so. But I want to know what you guys think. Have you had the small batch, the single barrel, any of the expressions? I haven't had the high end, like the 4 grain and that kind of stuff, but I've had the barrel proof, and that is one of my favorite barrel proofs I probably ever had. Honestly, I love that stuff, but of course I'll never find a bottle of that. So let me know what you think. Are you going to be picking this up if you see it at retail? Would you be willing to pay $200 to get a bottle of this secondary? It's tough. I'll probably be putting out a review of this on my website, bourbonsane.com. Still going hardcore over there. If you haven't checked out the website, please do. There's just a lot of resources for whiskey information, mash bills, that kind of stuff, even if you're not into reading the reviews themselves. So the other thing is I do have a Patreon page now. If you want to support the channel, see more of this, see some behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on, and also get some cool stuff sent to you. Check that out. Check that out. It's just starting back up here, but love it every day. Love it every day, and I'll be here for a long, long time. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay insane, everyone.